Representatives of Manheim, on behalf of Kirkwood Marketing Exchange, I want to thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming and giving us this opportunity to work with you. Now, 2 weeks ago, you came in. You needed help. Your goal to aspire higher, to achieve greater things, to get more market share in the business you're in. You needed help. You needed a helping hand. Now, you came to us because we can be that helping hand for you. Now, you had a problem. Trust. There are so many people out there who just find it difficult to place their trust on www.com, on the internet. It's a new thing. It's a phenomenon. It's crazy because they're so used to having a firm handshake when they make a deal. But then you guys came in. You saw the opportunity that you could be a middleman and still help them out to find someone else to make a deal with through the internet. Now, how can we help you build that trust? Well, we decided to look at the reviews that you guys have. You guys have currently a review place on right now. You have a review system. But we decided to take a new approach to it, a new angle, a new look at it, a new perspective that you guys can consider to help build the customer's trust with not only the seller that they're buying from, but with Manheim. They need to be able to trust the middleman of who they're doing business through. They need that virtual handshake. They're so used to having a personal handshake to have a deal closed that they need that feeling that they can cross through the threshold of the internet to shake the hand of the person they are buying from. And I think the rating system is enough to do that. But the rating system, how do you get the sellers motivated enough to want to have a good rating? Incentives. Things that want them to have a good rating. And then if they are pushed to have a good rating, then the buyers know that they are getting the best that they can. They know that the people they're buying from want to look good and want to represent their product properly. Now, profiles. We do not want to see this. We don't want to see a blank face. The buyers don't want to see that. They can't trust a blank face on a profile. So we have thrown out the profile that you guys currently have and taken a new look at it. A new way to replace this blank face. To replace that, just the name. We want them to feel like they're actually talking with a person. They're making a deal with a person. Because they're spending money and they want to make a transaction with people and not just a blank face. So, without further ado, I want to start us off with the ratings with Rachel and Jordan.
Okay, so like Jimmy said, we wanted to come up with a couple alternative ways for you guys to utilize your rating system in a more beneficial way. Okay, the first segment that we have is the buyer and seller to Manheim. Now what this would be a rating system that allows your buyers and your sellers to rate Manheim on the accessibility, how easy it was for them to use, like the benefits that they got from it. This will allow Manheim to get feedback directly from their buyers and sellers so that they can make more improvements. They can figure out exactly the problems that their buyers and sellers are having on OVE.com and all those other sort of navigations. The second one will be the buyer to seller and the Manheim to seller ratings. Now what these will be like are more like a movie critic. Let's say you go to a movie, there'll be two reviews. The one will be the critic rating, and the one will be the user rating. The critic rating will have everything that Manheim has to say about these sellers. The quality of representation that you've had in the past. And the buyer to seller ratings will be the specific things that the buyers have found about certain sellers that they've had experience with. Both of these will be based on a 5-star rating system, and also will have opportunity for custom comments to make, so that you don't just so that you better understand what a 1-star rating means, what a 2-star rating means. Because a 1-star rating to somebody could mean poor, when a 1-star rating to somebody else could mean absolutely unacceptable. So these custom comments that these people will be allowed to have will help Manheim figure out where they can make improvements and also promote those 5-star ratings once they reach that, and then for the sellers to be a better seller too for the company and the buyers as well.
And next, we found a third-party rating system that will help increase the trust between Manheim, the seller, and the buyer. What comes with this rating system is a 5-star rating system, and it allows you to do reviews on the seller, and it has a custom Q&A box, so the buyer can talk to that seller while if he wants to buy that car. He can ask questions, and then the seller will get right back to him with that question. And also with this third-party rating system, it's very affordable. It's $1,000 per month per 1 million views on your website, and you can do it on both websites, on OVE and Simulcast. So it's very affordable, and it allows you not having to do a lot of work, because this third party, they set everything up. You go in, you create a profile, and then and tell them all what you want on the website, and they go and set everything up with widgets and everything. And that's the third party rating system. And next, Ben and Claire are going to talk about the incentives and the verification.
So Claire and I, as part of the entire class, sort of devised a system of incentives combined with a new aspect of verification for sellers that will give the buyers more of a reason to trust the sellers, a better way to find more reliable sellers, and even more of a reason for the sellers to be better sellers, to represent their car more accurately, price it more accurately, and just everything that you guys want a seller to be, give them more reason to strive towards that.
All right. So as they said in the last group, the ratings is something that everyone's going to get. They're going to get the 5-star, where it goes from 1 to 5, and it really shows like each level of their progress. But this is for everyone. Everyone gets it. It's level 1. It just has that basic sort of thing. And then in addition to that, we talked about the next level up would be verification, and we're going to touch on verification a little bit more.
So what verification is when you have a seller who is consistently 4 to 5 stars, they're selling a large number of cars, getting high customer review ratings, and all, for a significant amount of time, they've been a great seller. At this point, they have earned the status of Manheim verified. And so what that means is that on their profile, that Jay will touch on later, and as customers are scrolling through possible cars, they will see that this seller selling this car is a verified seller. And immediately at that point, they know that this seller is trustworthy, and that it's probably going to be a good product. And so basically, here's the line of things as far as difficulty to attain goes. Everybody gets a rating, the good sellers get verified, and the even better sellers get rewards. So here's the basic logo, and now for the rewards.
Now the rewards is level 3, and for this you have to put yourself in the mind of the buyer. When you see all these different sellers, all these different cars, you have so many options, you don't know which one to pick, and you might be narrowed down to 2 sellers. They're both verified, they both have good ratings, you don't know which one to pick. People want to get the most that they can for their money, and the rewards program does that. Let's say if you have the rewards program and you're at that level 3, then you'll be able to throw in things like free dent removal with the car or free detail services. So when the person purchases that car from you, they will get that service added in. So it's one less thing for them to do, they get more for their money, and it's just the level 3 up for the ratings.
And essentially, this could also be used with the buyer. Say you devise a system where if a certain buyer buys 100 cars in a matter of a week, maybe for the next 50 cars they buy, Manheim will offer free detail services, or maybe a better shipping, faster shipping. And so basically that's giving buyers even more of a reason to come to Manheim. And once they do get maybe those 100 cars, they have even more of a reason to keep coming back. Same with the sellers. And so now, Jay is going to come in and talk about the profiles that he has created.
A detailed profile will create a personal connection between the buyer and seller, and also give a seller more comfortable when buying online and making online transactions. The new features are split up into 4 different tabs: basic info, ratings, transactions, and comments. Up now is basic info, which includes a profile picture, which Jimmy was talking about, their name, a basic bio of the company, contact information, and their rating. If the company was not verified, which it is, it would have the star rating instead of the verified logo. The rating system, when you click it, it would pop down right here and would include the ratings that Jared and Rachel were talking about. It's more broken down than that, and it would also give a quick summary of why they were given that rating. Transactions would give the buyer more of an idea of the volume that the seller is working with. And usually if a seller has sold more cars, the buyer is more comfortable with them because they have more experience. And the last would be comments. This would be a place for previous buyers to give their comment and opinions on how the seller treated them. If the shipping was good, if the accuracy was there. And you find this in places like Amazon or Consumer Reports. And we think that's really important because getting somebody else's perspective really gains and increases the confidence level with the buyer. And when you have the profile there, everything else is the same. You have the same heading. And then if you were to scroll down, you'd see all the car listings like you guys previously had. Jimmy?
Thank you, Jay. Water. It's what keeps people alive. It's what keeps us afloat. It's average. You can get it anywhere. One bottle of water is the same as another bottle of water. Steam. It is what powers innovation. It's what got trains to move the country westward. Manifest destiny. It's what got factories and the machinery working for the Industrial Revolution to take off. 1 degree. 1 degree separates the same compound from an average thing to something incredible, something that has the potential to take you so much further than where you are now. We have shown you how to give yourself that extra degree. We have shown you and given you the opportunity to take yourself from 211 to 212. 1 degree, but that makes all the difference. Now it's up to you if you want to take that 1 degree and go to bigger things, better places, or just stay as a normal bottle of water. Now please, at this time, I can get Rachel, Jordan, Ben, Claire, and Jay up here for questions. You guys are welcome to ask me questions.
Fire away if you have anything.
So, go ahead first.
I have a question. So who pays for the free services that you offer the buyer and sellers?
That would be through Manheim. Sorry, one second.
So it would be something that we cover out of our funds.
Yeah, and the whole point of that is that the rewards program is a lot harder to get, so you wouldn't be giving it away to everyone. You wouldn't have to pay for a billion different sellers to do that. So it's a very exclusive thing, so you won't have to pay too much.
So in the 5-star rating system, when somebody comes in, a brand new customer, they've never transacted before, where do they start?
If they haven't sold anything, they would start without a rating. It would be in no. Once they get their first car sales, they'll have a rating just like any other. If their first customer gives them 5 stars, they'll have a 5-star rating. And I mean, we kind of made the analogy that ratings can kind of go like shooting percentages. In basketball, if you make 6 out of 10 shots, it's looked at really good. If you see the 60%, making 400 out of 1,000 is even more impressive considering the consistency. And that's where the verification comes in.
That's good. I didn't understand the buyer and seller transaction ratings with Manheim. Are you asking the customers to actually rate Manheim in the transaction? Is that the...
No, the transactions is just kind of a list of previous cars that they have sold, and this way the buyer gets an idea of how often they're leaving their, I don't know if you'd call it a warehouse or their lot, and just gives them that viewpoint, if you will. And in my opinion, if a car or if a seller is selling more cars at a faster rate, they're looked at as maybe more reliable than someone that has not sold in a while.
Good. I was referring to that's great. I hadn't thought about that. The first slide.
Oh,
you
with
talked
the
about.
buyers and sellers rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an option we wanted to give you guys. That wouldn't be displayed on the website. That would be more for your records until you've reached a higher rating where you wanted to use it as a promotion. Then at that point say, hey, our buyers and sellers are rating us 5 stars. We are a middleman company that is reliable and our customers trust us from both ends. So that would be more, and that would also allow the comments for you to understand why your buyers and sellers may or may not be satisfied with using your company as opposed to going straight to the buyers and sellers.
That might be the biggest idea in the whole presentation, actually. I don't think we do that in transaction. We don't get feedback from our customers. We don't let them give us feedback.
We don't have.
We don't ask. It's a great idea.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
If that's all the questions, we want to thank you for coming out. We do appreciate the opportunity you gave us, and we hope that you got something out of it. Thank you.
Everybody.